Welcome to the HyperHive podcast. We're going to be doing a deep dive today into the neuroscience of innovation.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It is, and we're going to be using Min W. Young's book, A Brain for Innovation,
Okay.
to kind of explore,
Yeah.
how our brains
Right.
power imagination and abstract thinking,
Uh-huh.
all those sparks that really drive human progress.
Yeah.
What makes us humans,
Yeah.
so uniquely innovative. It's a question that's fascinated thinkers for centuries.
I mean, for sure.
And neuroscience is giving us a glimpse now
Yeah.
into the inner workings of the creative mind.
It's really remarkable when you think about it. Like, other animals adapt to their environments,
Right.
but humans transform our world.
Yeah.
We invent, we create,
Wield.
we build. Exactly. And understanding how our brains
Yeah.
enable, this could be the key to unlocking even greater creative potential.
The book kicks off with a story you might have heard of before.
Okay.
Case of Henry Molaison, or
Uh-huh.
HM. You might remember him as the man who lost his ability to form new memories after brain surgery.
Oh, right. Yeah. Tragic case, but it revolutionized
Yeah, he really did.
our understanding of the hippocampus,
Yeah.
this
Little seahorse-shaped.
seahorse-shaped structure deep in the brain.
Yeah.
Before HM, scientists thought that memory was scattered
Mhm.
throughout the brain, but HM could recall things from his past, just not form new memories.
Right.
So this really showed that the hippocampus is a key player
Yeah.
in making new memories.
But here's where things get interesting.
Okay.
It turns out that the hippocampus isn't just a passive storage unit.
Right.
Jung explains this fascinating concept called hippocampal replays.
Interesting.
So imagine this during sleep or even moments of rest.
Okay.
Your hippocampus reactivates the same patterns of brain activity that happen when you're awake.
It's like a
It's like your brain is practicing for the future,
practice run.
replaying experiences to make memories stick,
Mhm.
but also
Yeah.
to imagine what might happen next.
That's wild.
And what's fascinating is that these replays aren't exact copies of the past.
Oh.
The hippocampus can mix and match elements from different memories, creating brand new scenarios.
Wow.
So think about it while you're sleeping. Your brain might be piecing together solutions to problems you face during the day,
Huh.
or mentally mapping out a new route to work.
Yeah.
This is the foundation of imagination,
I see.
the ability to create experiences in your mind before they happen in the real world.
So you're saying that imagination is like our brain's way of running simulations?
Like a built-in simulator for life.
That's a really cool way to think about it.
But if the hippocampus can create these scenarios, does that mean it can also create false memories?
That's a great question, and it brings us to a crucial point. If the hippocampus can stitch together bits of information
Yeah.
to imagine the future,
Right.
it can also be susceptible to manipulation.
No.
Jung discusses some pretty famous cases of false memories, like the George Franklin case, where a daughter's recovered memory led to her father's wrongful conviction for murder.
Wow.
And he was later exonerated when the memory was proven false.
And then there's the McMartin preschool trial,
Oh, yeah.
where accusations of satanic ritual abuse,
Right.
fueled by suggestive questioning, led to children developing false memories with devastating consequences.
Exactly. These cases highlight the work of Elizabeth Loftus, a psychologist who has spent her career studying how easily false memories can take root.
Yeah.
One of her studies, the Lost in the Mall experiment,
I've heard of that.
showed how she could convince people they were lost in a shopping mall as children, even though it never happened.
It's unsettling, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It really makes you question
Yeah.
the reliability of your own memories.
The hippocampus, for all its brilliance, can be tricked.
Yeah, it's a powerful tool, but it's not perfect.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit
Sure.
and talk about how the brain makes decisions.
Okay.
We're constantly bombarded with choices, big and small.
Yeah, for sure.
How does the brain, particularly the hippocampus, weigh those options and choose the best course of action?
Well, one key mechanism is reward prediction error.
Okay.
Our brains are always trying to predict what will happen next based on our actions.
Right.
When the outcome is better than we expected, let's say you find a $20 bill on the sidewalk,
Okay, yeah.
that triggers a surge of dopamine, a feel-good neurotransmitter.
Dopamine.
This positive prediction error strengthens the neural connections related to the action that led to the reward.
So if you keep finding money on that same street,
Exactly.
your brain's going to be like, hey, let's walk down that street more often, good things happen.
Precisely. And the hippocampus plays a crucial role in this learning process.
Interesting.
Specifically, a region called the CA1 acts like a filter,
Okay.
selecting the most rewarding replays generated by another region, the CA3.
I see.
Think of a rat learning to navigate a maze. Its hippocampus will prioritize replaying the paths that led to cheese,
Okay.
making it more likely that the rat will choose those paths again in the future.
So the hippocampus isn't just storing experiences, it's learning from them.
Exactly. It's constantly learning and adapting based on our experiences.
A constant feedback loop shaping our choices based on what worked well before.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how our brains are constantly working behind the scenes to optimize our behavior?
It really is. Now we've been talking about imagination.
Yeah.
Well, it's likely widespread in the animal kingdom. What about abstract thought?
Right.
That seems like a uniquely human ingredient for innovation.
You're right. Abstract thinking lets us manipulate concepts, connect ideas, and think beyond our immediate senses. And it's linked to the evolution of the human brain.
Right.
Over millions of years, our brains, especially the neocortex, the outermost layer, have become larger and more complex. This is where we find areas like the prefrontal cortex crucial for planning decision-making and controlling impulses.
Right.
And the precuneus potentially involved in self-awareness and abstract thought.
And there's this fascinating link to a gene called ARHGAPA1MB, which is connected to the expansion of the neocortex in humans.
That's right.
Scientists inserted this gene into mice, and it actually made their brains bigger and more complex.
It's incredible, really.
It's amazing to think that this one gene may have played a part in our evolutionary journey toward larger, more powerful brains.
It really highlights the power of genetics in shaping who we are.
Now, I can't help but wonder about language. It seems essential for sharing ideas,
Yeah,
building on each other's knowledge, and really accelerating innovation.
absolutely.
What are your thoughts?
Language is a superpower.
Yeah.
It allows us to transmit information across generations, creating this vast pool of collective knowledge.
Yeah.
Think of all the scientific discoveries, inventions, and artistic masterpieces that wouldn't exist without language.
It's truly mind-boggling.
It really is.
Absolutely. But what makes human language so special
Right.
compared to how other animals communicate?
Human language has several unique features. First, it's discrete, meaning it's made up of distinct units like words. Second, it has grammar, the rules for combining those words into meaningful phrases and sentences. And third, it's productive, meaning we can create an infinite number of expressions from a finite number of elements.
Wow.
This lets us express complex ideas, share nuanced thoughts, and even deceive,
Deception.
which can be helpful in certain social situations.
That's interesting. Are you suggesting that lying might have played a role in the evolution of language?
It's certainly a possibility. Deception, along with humor, requires a sophisticated understanding of how language can be used to shape meaning.
Right.
But I think what's most intriguing is the question of whether language itself might have shaped our capacity for abstract thought.
Ooh.
It's a chicken or egg situation. Did language give rise to abstract thought, or did abstract thought lead to the development of language?
That's a fascinating question. It seems like it could be a bit of both.
Yeah, I think it's likely a complex interplay between the two.
But one thing is clear. Language is a powerful force that has profoundly shaped human evolution and continues to influence our thinking in ways we're only beginning to understand.
I completely agree.
If you love the content, please like and subscribe to keep us going.
Absolutely.
Now, Jung's book also offers some great tips
Oh, cool.
on how to boost our own creativity based on what we've learned about neuroscience.
Okay.
Are you ready for the top 5?
Bet me.
Okay. Tip number 1
All right.
is embrace diversity.
Okay.
Expose yourself to a wide range of experiences, different fields of study, and varied perspectives.
Okay.
The more diverse your mental library is, the more material your brain has to work with
Right.
when it's creating those imaginative scenarios, even when you're not consciously thinking about it.
Makes sense. It's like a chef with a well-stocked pantry.
Oh, yeah.
The more ingredients they have,
Right.
the more creative and innovative their dishes can be. Same goes for your brain.
Yeah.
A diverse range of input leads to a richer output.
Tip number 2 is to deeply focus and then relax.
Okay.
The idea here is to alternate between periods of intense concentration, like when you're in a flow state working on a problem,
Yeah.
and periods of relaxation where you let your subconscious mind take over.
It's all about balance. You work your brain hard, but then you give it time to recover and make new connections.
Yeah.
That downtime is crucial for those hippocampal replays to do their thing and potentially lead to those aha moments where a solution suddenly appears.
Love it. Tip number 3 is be persistent.
Okay.
Don't expect those creative breakthroughs to happen overnight.
Right.
Persistence is key. Keep coming back to the problem, looking at it from different angles, and remember those failures along the way.
Yeah.
They're just part of the process.
It's like Thomas Edison said, I have not failed. I just found 10,000 ways that won't work.
I love that quote.
Innovation is rarely a straight line from start to finish.
Yeah.
It's full of twists, turns, and setbacks. The key is to keep learning and refining your approach.
Tip number 4, pay attention to your environment.
Okay.
Cultivate that mindfulness. Notice the small details, the connections in your surroundings.
Yeah.
You never know where inspiration might strike.
Sometimes a chance observation, a conversation you overhear, or even a walk in nature can spark a new idea. It's about being open and receptive to the world around you.
And finally, tip number 5 is to value your downtime.
Okay.
Don't underestimate the power of rest, sleep, and even daydreaming.
Oh, yeah, I gotta get that sleep.
That's when those hippocampal replays are working their magic, generating possibilities.
This is so important in our constantly connected, always-on world. We need to make time for rest and reflection. It's not just about recharging our batteries.
Right.
It's about giving our brains the space they need to be creative.
Okay, so we've explored how our brains power imagination and abstract thought,
Yeah.
the building blocks of innovation. But let's zoom out for a minute.
Okay.
What does all this mean for the future of humanity?
That's the big question.
Innovation has given us this incredible ability to shape the world. But it's also led to some significant challenges, especially when it comes to the environment.
You've hit on a crucial point. Human innovation is a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Jung presents two contrasting views in his book. One is fairly pessimistic.
Okay.
It highlights the environmental crisis we face, climate change, habitat destruction, the threat of mass extinction.
Right.
The argument is that our relentless pursuit of progress could lead to our downfall.
It's a sobering thought for sure.
It is.
But what about the other side, the optimistic view?
The optimists point to the exponential growth of technology.
Yeah.
They believe that scientific breakthroughs might hold the solutions to the problems we've created. They have faith in human ingenuity to prevail and lead us toward a more sustainable and prosperous future.
It's a bit of a tug-of-war between hope and fear.
Yeah, it really is.
Will innovation save us or destroy us?
That's the big question, isn't it?
What are your thoughts?
Jung doesn't offer a definitive answer, but he certainly gives us plenty to think about.
Yeah.
The next few decades will be critical.
We're at a pivotal moment in history. The choices we make today will shape the future. So to wrap things up, what are your takeaways from this deep dive?
Let me think.
What stood out to you?
Well,
What sparked your curiosity?
for me, what really stood out was the idea that imagination isn't this uniquely human thing.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like a lot of animals,
Yeah.
especially mammals, engage in some form of mental time travel.
Right.
Like they're simulating different scenarios and possibilities.
Yeah.
It kind of blurs the lines between us and other species in a way.
It does.
That's both humbling and inspiring.
It definitely challenges our human-centric view of the world.
Yeah.
We often think of ourselves as the most intelligent species, but maybe imagination, that spark of creativity, is more widespread than we realize.
Exactly. And if that's true, perhaps we can learn from how other animals navigate their world, solve problems, and even play.
Yeah.
There might be valuable insights hidden in the wag of a dog's tail or the song of a bird.
I love that we can always be learning,
Right.
even from our animal friends.
Exactly.
This deep dive has really given me a lot to think about,
Yeah.
especially the idea that our brains are constantly creating possibilities, even when we're not consciously aware of it.
Right.
It's like we have this hidden team of creative collaborators working behind the scenes.
And the key is to create the right conditions for those collaborators to thrive.
Right.
Embrace new experiences.
Yeah.
Give your brain time to rest and wander. And above all,
Yeah.
nurture that sense of curiosity and wonder. That's where the real magic happens.
Well said. This has been an incredible journey into the neuroscience of innovation.
I agree.
We've explored the amazing power of the hippocampus, the role of abstract thinking and language in human progress, and even picked up some practical tips on how to unlock our own creative potential.
Absolutely. And remember, this deep dive was based on Min W. Jung's book, A Brain for Innovation.
Yes, it is.
A fantastic read packed with even more insights and fascinating details.
Then we could cover here.
Yeah, and we could possibly cover.
If you're interested in exploring this topic further,
Yeah,
you can find a link to buy the book on our website, gohyperhive.com.
that's right.
You can purchase it through Amazon, and as an Amazon associate, we earn from qualifying purchases. So your purchase helps support the show.
Yeah,
We'd love to hear from you.
absolutely.
What were your biggest takeaways from this deep dive?
Yeah.
What sparked your curiosity? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
And if there's a book you'd like us to explore in a future deep dive, let us know
Yes.
in the comments or send us a message to our website.
And before we wrap up, please like and subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for more deep dives into the world of science, technology, and culture. Thanks for joining us.